Just like air, this is how much that you should want it. Now, what is it? It is your absolute desire. It is pertaining to our mission. It is your God-given gift that's going to allow you to have and make room for the life that you so desire. The material things you want, the economic things you want, the environmental things that you want and desire. All of this is going to come from the absolute grind of going after and finding out from within yourself that God-given gift. Because without it, there's always going to be something missing in your life that literally feels like it's around the corner. And metaphorically it is, but metaphysically it's just waiting inside of you. It's knocking at that door saying, I'm ready to shine because I am only made just for you. That gift was only given to you from God with your unique DNA on it for you to bring it to life so that the world can have access to it. That's it. That's the simplicity and that's the success of life that's already given to you when you come out that womb. And that's what we have to really chase, and that's how we have to really feel when we really go after something that we really want to have. Is that we have to have such a connection to it, such an emotional clamp to it, to where the only requirement to have it is to want it just like you want to breathe. Want it just like you want to live. Want it and need it just like you need to survive in this world. If you don't have that urge to do it, then there's definitely something out there that can replace it. Now, that can be a good thing, have like a plan B, or that can be a bad thing because a plan B can burn you. Because when you already know that there's someone back there to catch you, or in this case, there's already another dream back there or something that's better that can catch you, you won't give your all to this one thing because it knows that there's someone else. And that's what happens in relationships. It just take that for an example. When you're not intimate and when you're not faithful to that significant other, you don't give your all to them. And they know that. They can feel it. And then that's when it all crumbles down. So then you have to jump to that plan B and you have to make that work. Because there's no plan C. It's just not cool to say. It's just not practical to say. It just doesn't make sense. Plan B really didn't make sense because you didn't put forth the right mindset to make it a reality. You forced yourself from the choices that you made of simply not wanting it just like you needed it, just like you want air to breathe. The more air you breathe, the more energy you can transform, and the more energy you can transform, the more action you can take, and then the closer you can get to your gift, the closer you can get yourself to that which you desire the most. You have to want it just like air, and if it really past everything else in every other video that I give you, this right here is one of those implicit videos, those implicit messages that tells you this is a given. There is no compromise to it. There is no substitute for it. There is absolutely no reason to not need it like you need air. Okay? I am reminded of myself when I was at my job that there were days where I just wouldn't start the day off right. I wouldn't have the right energy. I wouldn't have the right mode. I wouldn't have the right mindset. So I would just still have to go to work to make my money so that I don't get fired until I get to the next point of my life that I needed to be at. And I would have such moments where I would try to focus 100% into what I was doing in my job, but it would make me feel like the worst person in the world because I wasn't being fair to myself. Do you know how it feels to cheat on yourself? It's like it's a grimy, slimy feeling. There's no explanation to it. There's no excuse as to do it. It's just the worst feeling in the world to cheat on yourself. When you cheat on your diet, you cheat on your health, you cheat on your fun, you cheat on your work, you cheat on your passion. When you think about these singular moments that involves that involves the potential best you that you can pull out of yourself, when you cheat on those moments, when you don't give those moments your fulfilled attention and action and energy and focus, you cheat on yourself. And it's the worst. It is the worst feeling ever. But there's a reason for that worst feeling, because it is a compass for us to shift to something better. Now, either that's going to happen, or we're going to create this really bad tolerance for that type of pain. And we're going to accept it ignorantly that this is supposed to happen. And you know what? The rest of your life is just going to get worse from it. I've seen it happen. Hell, I've almost went through it myself. I am no good to the world if I'm not good to myself, as good to myself. And that's how you have to approach yourself every day you wake up. Every day you're given a gift from God to have another opportunity to move towards your gift, to move towards making the world better in your image with your gift. You have to say to yourself, I am no good to anyone else if I'm not good to myself. Because you aren't. I don't care how much you want to do something, how much intent you have to do something, it just won't work. And that's what you really have to get a grasp of with life, with personal growth, that this is a quintessential element that's needed for you to have anything else to even work for you the way that you desire for it to, is that you have to treat yourself with the utmost respect. You have to treat yourself with the utmost expectation that you are going to put forth 100% effort into finding your gift, finding your higher self, so that the life that you desire, even beyond what you desire, can be attracted to you. And you have to want it like you have to get to a point where, like a little kid that just learned how to play with toys, when you tell him to put one thing down, he gets so fidgety, he has to touch something else. That's how you have to be. We're taught these habits as kids, and we have to bring ourselves back to that stubbornness for our own success. And that's what a few of these points are going to demonstrate today, is a few ways on how to create that mindset, to create that drive and the energy and the action to want something just like you need air. To want it like you need air. And I know exactly what I'm saying, and that's exactly how I mean to say it. You have to want it just like you need air. Because when you want something, it's a fun effect that comes with it. It's an unlimited fun effect that comes with it. And like I tell you in all my videos, at least majority of them, you gotta have fun in the process. If you don't, you're gonna find a way to sabotage yourself anyway. It's just human nature. It's weird, but it's just a weird part of the DNA that we all have in common. You're just gonna sabotage yourself if you're not having fun doing that. So you have to want it like you need air. And let's go ahead and get started with these tips right here so that you will know exactly what to do, exactly what I did to get over that hump, to not treat myself so badly anymore, but to just put myself into it regardless of what I was doing on the secondary end. I knew that primarily every moment of every day I was going to work towards my business, and I was going to work to the point where I was going to make it work for me, or something else that I was going to be just as passionate about that I may not have found out yet was going to work out for me too. And the first point here is to have a sense of urgency for your gift. We go right back to that, because that's what's all centering around with Mills Life and Business Consulting, is that it's all about your gift. Nothing else matters, because everything else figures itself out within your world after you find the gift that centralizes your action and your attention in your world. When you have that one thing that's going well for you to where it doesn't need your participation, it just needs your blessing to exist, everything else finds its way to work for you just as easily. Bill Gates, one of the richest men on earth, found his gift in engineering, building software. That's all he did. He didn't try to play ball. He didn't try to play basketball. He didn't try to be on a wrestling team. He didn't try. I don't even think he even learned how to talk to girls until he became a grown man. He had only one focus and goal. He saw something that he just couldn't get his mind off of. It was something that didn't even exist yet in the world with technology, but he just knew he was the one that had to do it. And because of that, he became one of the richest men in the world. And because of that, he was able to explode Microsoft into these different realms of entertainment and retail products that we now enjoy to this day, with gaming, with office products, with retail products, with everyday appliances and things of that nature, that is pretty much on like 90% of the world's computers. Microsoft is, from the government on up to your daughter's bedroom. It's at 90% of devices today. All because this man had a dream and a passion and a gift that he just could not let go. And that is also that urge, that sense, that fidgetiness when you're not doing it. That's that urge, that's that internal compass that's trying to pull you towards your gift. That's that sense of urgency that exists within you. When you feel like, man, I should just be doing something else, you're right. You're absolutely right. You should be doing something else. You should be doing that which gives you the most out of life. Because if you don't do it, yes, someone else is going to do it. But what does that do for you, though? How does that make you into a better person for other people to appreciate and to love and to like, if you don't pursue your own goals and your own dreams? So have a sense of urgency for that gift. Have that sense of urgency to be more than what you already are, because this is not your permanent reality. This is just a part of the journey and the process that gets you to there. And when you get there, you will know you're there. You'll receive the type of notoriety you don't expect. You'll receive the type of wealth that you couldn't imagine. And it may not be millions and billions of dollars that you may make. It may be $250,000 a year or a month, or $369,000 a year, which is the equivalent of $32,000 a month that you may make in income. And that, to someone who's making that from their gift, is so much more in value from someone who became a multi-millionaire but has a multi-millionaire expense chart against their net worth, and they're in the negative. They're broke trying to live with the Joneses. Whereas you are not trying to live like the Joneses. You're living like you with a much lower salary, but you're living so much life from it because of the satisfaction you're getting from achieving that which was already in you from birth. So have that sense of urgency. Go find it. That's what it's for. Look at these videos. We help you find these things each and every day. Just keep watching them again and again and get those aha moments out of them and start to really take action. All right? The next step here is to prioritize every day. I cannot explain how important that is. I have a personal business journal, a business planner that I plan out my entire week out, my entire year. And I'm always scribbling in it because things change along the way, which is natural. And what ends up happening is that I find myself progressing a little bit quicker, or sometimes I slow myself down because of something I may have missed that needs to be picked up on. But nonetheless, I always prioritize the biggest goals every day to do. Everything else can wait until I get this done. Everything else can wait. And if that's a very, very integral part of your journey of success and becoming the individual that you need to be to explore and find the gift and be ready for the gift that already exists within you, is that, you have to prioritize the biggest goals for that day. Don't say it's going to get done eventually this month. No, there are 30 to 31 days in a month, with the exception of February, for you anal people out there that will comment on this video like that you have to plan that day, that you have to plan it ahead for right now. Because someday would never come. It would never come. Prioritize the highest regarding job or task for that day. And what you want to do, with this, what I do much more now than I have before, is that I have to ask myself, what am I going to become in the midst of this? Which pretty much can sum it up as to say, what will I learn? See, if I'm not learning anything from that which I'm prioritizing, I'm gonna throw it to the side anyway. I gotta learn something, because upon learning something from the tasks that you take every day, you now begin to create a bigger why into why this needs to be done. If you can't learn from it, there's no reason as to why to do it. It's just that simple. And so make that kind of like your cheat sheet for when you see a lot of these videos, you see a lot of these home study courses, or a lot of these people, a lot of these individuals in personal development that always say, know your why, know why you're doing it, have a big enough why, and you will continue to do it. And take this with every grain of salt that you have. If you do not learn from it, the big why will not come. Because setting goals is not about getting things, it is about becoming that individual that is capable of getting those things, of acquiring those things, of acquiring the mindset, the shift, the gift that you're meant to have, so that you can be in a position to take over the world in your own image. So learn from everything that you do, learn from every task that you set, and then your big why will expose itself. I guarantee it. The next part of this, of your mindset, is to activate beast mode. Activate it, feel it, be intentional about it. Make a face, make a growl. Make the noise, whatever you gotta do, beat on your chest, do whatever you need to do to put yourself in that frame of mind to be an absolute monster when you're going towards building yourself into a better version of yourself and pretty much just discovering who you need to be in order to obtain that gift that God has waiting for you. Be the beast. Dominate and don't try to compete. Don't try to do what others are doing. Learn from success, and you can copy it as a foundation until you get creative enough yourself to find your own likeness to dominate that particular industry with, or to dominate that particular task or goal with. And all of this is in an effort as a building block to find yourself. Not to obtain something, to find yourself. That's what it's all about. If you're not focusing on who you need to be, I promise you that what you're going after is going to keep running away from you. You're going to come 4 to 5 years down the road, and you're going to be like, how the hell did I get here with nothing to show for it? It's because you're the same person 4 to 5 years ago that you should not be 4 to 5 years today. It's just that simple. You're the same lazy dude that chooses to play video games before he does his business work. You're going to be that same dude 5 years from now. put the games up. It's not great. It's not making you a better person. It's not even making you a better gamer unless you're doing it professionally for money. Unless that's your gift, which is building content through virtual consoles. If that's your gift, more power to you. Go do it. But know that's your gift and do it and not anything else. Otherwise, throw it away. Wait until the weekend. Wait until the wife and the kids are at home. Or whatever the case may be. Or until the husband and the kids are at home. Because there's a lot of female gamers out there too. So whatever the case is, put those childish things away. Grow into this man or this woman that you need to be so that you can attract that gift, so that you can get it on with life, and you can take my place in front of this camera and teach other people and give other people your testimonial as to how you became the beast that you never thought that you would become, but found out it was in you the entire time. That's what you want to do. That's what you're aiming for. That's what you're trying to become. All of these goals and gifts and dreams and all this stuff is all about becoming. Because that's why people from the lottery, who wins the lottery, lose money 2 or 3 years later, because they're not capable of being someone mature enough to handle finance of that magnitude. So when you find yourself having too much of something, if you don't have the management skills to manage it, you're going to find a way to give it away for free without any comeback value from it. It's a natural law of economics. Don't quote me on it, but it's somewhere in one of those textbooks, those college textbooks, that when you have too much of something without the proper skill set to manage it, just the law of the law of nature or something like that says that it must be transferred to a different set of owner or owners that can handle it or that has more value for having it. And that includes money too. That includes money. If you don't have the right skill set and the right mindset to make more money, that little bit of money you're going to make is only going to find its way somewhere else. Whether it's paying a bill or giving someone else money for the hell of it, or it's spending it frivolously on like food and clothes and things that have no value down the road anyway, it's going to find its way out of your hands and out of your possession. So you think about that when you become one of those individuals that says, I'm living check to check. Yes, it's because you're very dumb with money. You know how to make it, you just don't know how to keep it. And that's part of the growth of who you need to become. There's no excuse why we have instant access to something as grand as YouTube to not learn, to not have an expertship in whatever we don't know. There's no excuse for anyone to say, I don't know this, but I don't know also how to find out. Type it in YouTube. There's always someone teaching it. And then you're going to really find a lot of these videos out here from individuals that's teaching something and they don't know how to monetize off of it. So they're going to give you all of it for free. So there's no excuse. Find out what you don't know, type it up, learn about it, get a couple of aha moments from it, and then apply it to your life. And you'll be amazed as when you grow this tall into something, into one area of your life, how other smaller areas are going to not want to be left behind, so they're going to make their way up that same plateau level. Because now you now created a bigger ceiling of growth for yourself. As long as you can grow in something, you can give everything else in your life a chance to grow as well. Okay? So keep that in mind. And also the last tip here as well, besides beast mode and prioritizing and having a sense of urgency for your gift every day, is to say yes to your higher self. We all have that magical voice in our heads of consciousness that says, Nick, you should do this. Or you know what, it would be cool if you became this or became that, or went to this level or went to that level. And that, in a sense, is our higher selves speaking to us. You know, There's a phrase that says that, always trust your first mind, always trust your first instinct. That first mind and first instinct, as it has been studied by psychologists, is our more mature selves telling us what to do in the midst of us trying to figure it out with the current mindset that we already have. So from you knowing that comes the phrase, know better, you'll do better. Now you know to listen to yourself a little bit more, because that's your higher self trying to get out. Trying to get out. Now, granted, there's always going to be another part of yourself that probably is going to tell you to sway a different direction as well. So understand this too for growth. The same person that says I can't and the same person that says I will, they are one and the same. You just have to decide which voice you want to listen to and which direction you want to follow. Which one feels better for the long game, for the long term. Because it always feels good to take a little rest for a minute, to just say, I'll do this later, let me just chill out for the day. It always feels good to say that. But when you're thinking long term and for the long game of things, now you're saying, okay, I don't need to waste any time. I can rest when I'm dead, metaphorically speaking. I can rest later, and there's even a such thing as excess rest. You can even do that in excess, and it can have a reversal effect on your body. That's why, there are people out there that teach you how to find your ideal sleep hours. Some people can go off of 4 hours of sleep. Some people can go off of 2 hours and work a 24-hour shift. They're called nurses and doctors. These people are amazing, but it is a learned habit. And then there are people who can fully function maybe with 5 or 6 hours of sleep. And for someone like me, I need 7 hours of sleep a day. First, I thought it was 5 or 6, and I can do it if I'm forced to, if I know I have an appointment the next day, but I also know that the night before I gotta find a very good stopping point for my business to be at, for me to feel comfortable for accomplishment. If I can accomplish the entire task from the day before, then I can do 5 or 6 hours, and sacrifice an hour or so to get that done. But ideally, for my health, for my energy, for my even flow of things, my life's balance, I gotta do 7. I need that 7 in my life's perfect number. It just makes no sense for it to not be that. And that's what I want you to do as well. You want to find that sleep cycle. Sometimes you got to figure it out, because even from all the teachings out there on how to find it, you still have to do the work yourself and go to sleep for certain lengths of time at night and really find out what works for you the most. And that's what you want to do as well. Not only with that, but you also want to test out everything else here too, and then really find out what that level, what that beast mode level is for you. You want to find that voice in your head that's saying, what you need to do and how you need to do things. So some great ideas in your head, but you have to really pull that out of you first. Well, I really truly believe that beyond the 10% of our brains is the genius and the passions and the gifts that we're looking for in life. And that's why there are people out there like Gary Vee, for instance, Gary Vaynerchuk, who can do 20 different things, literally, because he's shown it on several videos. He does 20 different things on the same day, from 9 to 5. The same 8 or 9 hours that you're working at a job doing one little task, he's doing 20 different things, having 20 meetings, completing this, starting this, brainstorming this, mentoring this person, making a random call to someone he hasn't talked to in years. This dude is doing 20 different things. And Yest still has a smile on his face because he's saying, I'm doing my hobby. I'm living my hobby. This isn't work for me. I'm living my hobby. And as my dad used to say, for real estate, when I was in real estate itself, this is a perfect way to spend the day. And I feel that in relation to that, living your gift, riding your gift, and growing your gift is a perfect way to spend your day. This is Nick Billions bringing you another awesome video from Mills Life and Business Consulting. And as always, I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed making it. And always hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. You've gotten to this part of the video. You've already helped out my stats. Let's help each other out much more each day. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications button, so you'll always know when the videos are coming through. We do them daily and weekly. And also leave a comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment what you like, what you didn't like. Let's have a dialogue. Let's really get some things going here, you know, as you listen to more and more videos and you start to mold yourself into the individual that you need to be to attract the gift that is within you. And as always, until the next time, remember, find your gift and your best life will find you. Nick Billions signing off. I'll talk to you soon.